Hello anyone, Mr. Skyson here, and welcome to Day 29, Night 30, and the grand finale of Deadly30. Who cares where we left off before? Today we escape this hole and take out these lousy fence touchers as we go. For honor, for fun, and for all the boxes who fell bravely in the line of duty. Now let's get deadly. Or at least that's the route I wanted to take with this episode. Unfortunately, the fates were against me once again, and so much got in the way that you get a talk-over finale. Sorry about that. I had intended to have this out immediately following the others, and almost managed it, but, several expected deaths happened, which weren't really a big deal. I'm used to that by now. However, when I finally did get it right, it turned out I forgot to hit record. I was not a happy Skyson. The next time I tried, it was more repeated deaths, several of which happened before the night fight could even start. A bit frustrating after a while. Pretty sure I've covered that, though. I finally managed to win again while recording, and somehow it missed recording the first half of the gameplay. I'm still not sure what happened there. A few tries later, and the recorder refused to work at all, and I just took a break from it. All that, plus I had to help someone with some home repairs in my free time. So, yeah, that's me, and this is the game. It was a long and somewhat frustrating journey, but here we are at the end. One by one, these fence-touching veggie men will fall before us as we wait to be rescued. On that note, I've been wondering something about that rescue lately. Normally, you are expected to be at the base, wait it out, then be saved. How does whoever saves you know where you are, who you are, or that you even need saving? It's wartime, isn't it? Unless it's a neutral savior, they could be saving the wrong... Well, I guess if zombies are everywhere, they don't really care where you're from, so long as you can point a gun and shoot. Okay, then I guess I answered that much myself. Anywho, during one of my failed attempts, I was stuck in the forest screen. I'd literally just missed my chance at reaching the base. With everything else that had been going on, I was once again not a happy Skyson. Apparently, the game locks you to whatever screen you're on when night falls on the final day. I can't think of any scenario where you would win that fight. Rescue finding you at the base is one thing. There's lights, it's probably in a small clearing, and I don't know, maybe there was a beacon or something. Being in another area is different though. It's pitch black, can't see anything, nothing can see you, aside from your flashlights. Help isn't going to know you even exist. But the game still lets you try. Not sure if they're being sadistic with that or what. Beacon theory aside, how do they find you at all? Judging by some of the nearby scenery, you are literally alone in the middle of nowhere. Yay, overthinking simple games! Speaking of simple games, did you happen to notice the credits during the various times I've died? Very, very short. It was made by two people, one of which some of you may be familiar with for their short cartoons on YouTube and other sites. Gonzawesome. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Similar art styles to what you see in the game. I've seen a few of their works, very amusing. Definitely worth a look when you have the time if you haven't seen their work already. The other is Ignitus Zook, who I am admittedly less familiar with, not knowing them beyond this game. Good game though. Well, mostly good. Despite dying a lot being frustrating, I'm actually okay with it. Has that classic gaming feel to it, makes you learn to be careful. My issue is with the companion AI. It seemed like they rarely did anything to help in most cases, even going as far as just standing there while giants punched them in the faces repeatedly. And they didn't shoot half as much as I feel they could have. No, seriously. 30 days of this game, and I only remember buying ammo for either of them once. Sure, shotguns and rifles. They're slower but more powerful than the assault rifles I've been using. But 30 days! Not to mention issues fighting certain enemies, like the birds. They kind of stand around and get their eyes pecked out. but I actually read somewhere that there were issues coding that, so I can let that slide, I suppose. I think I mentioned in an earlier episode, but there's an achievement for clearing the game with all 3 characters alive. Thanks to the AI, this is so much more difficult than it sounds. Managed to get everyone to the escape zone? Nope. At least one just ran off, likely into the hordes, and you have to go manual to get them back. But then the others wander off. I'm a patient kind of gamer. I can grind for ages or deal with bad players in multiplayer. But unintelligent AI can really ruin a good time. There's a wall of enemies bent on tearing me to bits. I should run into them. You know? It's just not good having bad AI. Maybe I'm just being ranty. I like the game itself. It's a good game overall, and I can totally recommend picking it up sometime. Simple controls and mechanics, easy to learn gameplay, and a good way to kill a couple of hours. Plus, it has boxes. Boxes that will give their lives to protect you. What more could you ask for? I think I've rambled about as far as I can for now. Time for my usual musical filler while you enjoy the rest of the fight. Red lingered below and died rather than sticking around to be saved. But a win is a win, I suppose. I can always get that achievement some other way. At least we make a nice explosive exit. Oh crap, the chopper's gonna get us. Phew, we're ghosts. It went right through. And here's our heroes. Even the one that died. Well-deserved rest. Which they should probably be checked for any sort of infection. "30 nights of heck have been braved, and our intrepid heroes have come out to the other side. The end of the blight seems to be in sight, and tomorrow doesn't seem too bad. Hurrah!" And there's the tiny, tiny credits. Good job, team. Thank you for playing. Thank you for being played. Menu screen and memory of red. Alrighty then, this has been Deadly30 start to finish. I hope you enjoyed watching. Until the next game, I will see you all next time, and remember to stay groovy. Yeah, the game actually has a code you can put in for a ton of scrap metal and some nice guns. So here's this.